Welcome to our video on averaging versus scaling. Visit our website at www.bestbidestimating.com for more video tutorials. I want to address a very controversial subject in the electrical estimating industry today. It's averaging versus scaling. Okay, so there are a few types of estimators. Those who swear by the old school pen and paper method, and those who have adapted to an estimating software like the Best Bid. All I can say about that is that I have never seen anyone go back to pen and paper after they have used an estimating software. Then there are those who scale every item meticulously down to the lock nut, and those that use the averaging method. For those that have never heard of averaging, it is the practice of providing a distance apart measurement that will be applied to items such as lights and switches, receptacles, etc., to determine the amount of raceway and conductors that will be used. An example would be the distance apart of 20 feet. If you had 20 receptacles, you would multiply the distance apart of 20 feet by the quantity of 20 for a total of 400 feet. Others will scale between each receptacle and add up or down lengths to arrive at a total amount of raceway and wire. You must remember estimating is an estimate. The idea is to make sure you include something for everything, with the idea that every item has a man-hour associated to it. If you miss the item, you also miss the labor. It is better to spend your brain on the high-dollar items such as large feeders or your service. Don't get too bogged down counting lock nuts and screws and miss the important items. I've watched people include a certain box for this and a different box for that and miss the fire alarm. The branch circuits are such a minor cost of a completed estimate, and yet some estimators spend the bulk of their estimating time on this phase. Years ago, supply houses used to provide electrical contractors with full material takeoffs. This was way before estimating software came along. I walked into the supply house and dropped off my plans and went to lunch. Half an hour later, I remembered that I needed a tape measure, so I went back to the supply house before returning to my job. To my surprise, the estimate was halfway complete. I was amazed because if I had performed this at home, it would have taken me hours. I made the estimator tell me how he had gotten so far along in the estimate in such a short amount of time. He said, "Oh, the owner of the store makes me average the branch circuits." He said, "I hate using the averaging method because I feel like it takes all of the skill out of estimating." He then told me that he tried for months to prove his boss wrong, but every time he did an estimate the old way, it came out so close he couldn't show him. So over the next few estimates that I did, I scaled it and averaged it. I was amazed at how close both methods were to each other. So I now personally use averaging most of the time. There will always be jobs that are better suited scaling, but overall I am glad that I have learned how to use the averaging technique. So you are saying, you really believe in averaging? That can't work. Well, the truth is, of course, it works, and the better you get at recognizing what distance to use, the more accurate it is. Every job has an average distance. You can't believe that is true. Of course, I do. It is this simple. If you have 100 receptacles shown on your plan and you scaled the drawing any way that you feel is the most accurate, and came up with a total distance of raceway needed to install these receptacles, and then divided that length by the total number of receptacles, you would have the average distance apart. Total length of raceway divided by the number of items is equal to the average distance apart. Each item has a true average distance apart. The key is being able to look at the drawings and identify what that distance needs to be. Over your next few projects, divide the items by the length of raceway that you have scaled and start recording the average apart. It won't take long before the light goes off. you will start to see that this is a 20-foot or a 12.5-foot project, and you will have nothing to lose but wasted time. That's it for now. Be sure to watch the Best Bid and Best Bid Hybrid videos and give us a call at 800-941-7028 or visit our website at www.bestbidestimating.com. Thanks for watching.